Well, the confrontation between Donald Trump and billionaire Elon Musk is reaching a whole new level. And it proves that Elon Musk is ready to go all the way and carry out his threats, which not so long ago seemed rather far-fetched. Billionaire Elon Musk announced that he is indeed forming a third political party in America after a dramatic quarrel with Donald Trump, making it clear that he will carry out his threats if the president's domestic policy bill becomes law. And that bill did become law after all. So let's discuss together in this episode the creation by Elon Musk of a new political party in America, which is called the Party of America. What are its chances of winning, and what does this mean for America and Ukraine? So how should we observe the situation, and is it even worth paying attention to at all? And we'll also discuss with you the confrontation between Donald Trump and Elon Musk in this context. How will Donald Trump behave now? Because in fact, a new political party doesn't really have much of a chance to win, but it can definitely take votes away from the Republicans in the 2026 elections. Let me give you a spoiler. Elon Musk not only wants a third party, but also wants to financially support those Republicans who, in one way or another, oppose Donald Trump's policies. I'm Alex Ipecci, it's July 6th. Let's discuss this topic further, step by step. But before we start, I ask you to subscribe to this channel, hit the like button, leave any comment you want, and be sure to subscribe to my Telegram channel, Pecci News. The link is in the video description. So, on Saturday, Elon Musk voiced his threat and said that it is coming to life. Elon Musk is forming a third political party in America called... Well, and on social media, Elon Musk writes the following. When it comes to bankrupting our country through wastefulness and bribery, we live in a one-party system, not a democracy. Today, the America Party has been formed to return your freedom to you. And it is worth noting that Elon Musk is the largest individual sponsor of Donald Trump's presidential campaign in 2024 and, until recently, was a close advisor to the President of the United States, leading his administration's efforts to reduce government spending. And now he goes and criticizes Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill because of estimates that say this bill adds trillions of dollars to the federal deficit. It has already been calculated that the United States national debt ceiling will increase by $5 trillion because of this Donald Trump law. Elon Musk's criticism of the bill became the catalyst for a serious quarrel between the two politicians, you could say Trump and Musk. And this feud seemed to have cooled down after Musk expressed regret and deleted the most provocative social media posts he made about Trump. But this quarrel flared up again in the last few days, as the bill was nearing adoption. In the end, Trump signed this bill on Friday. Well, and of course this was the celebration that Donald Trump had been waiting for after several weeks of persuading Republicans to support his large-scale bill. Despite ongoing concerns about spending cuts, increasing the deficit, and political pitfalls, Trump signed the bill on the South Lawn of the White House on Friday afternoon. He turned the traditional 4th of July picnic into a celebration of the country's independence and his victory in Congress, using the day's fanfare to celebrate the most decisive legislative victory of his second term. These celebrations included a bomber flyover. This is a tribute to the recent military strikes on Iranian nuclear facilities. And Donald Trump, after signing this law, wrote, "We made promises, and these are truly promises made, promises kept, and we kept them." On the birthday of democracy, democracy triumphs, and I must say that people are happy. Well, I mean, you understand the response of Elon Musk, who writes that no, this is not democracy at all. Everything is exactly as Trump imagined when he first set the July 4th deadline for the bill's approval just a few weeks ago. And even some of his own allies thought that the deadlines were too ambitious. But Trump's iron grip on his own party, combined with what a White House official called the president's all-encompassing efforts to bring Republicans on board, ultimately led to the bill being passed in the House of Representatives on Thursday, with only 2 Republicans voting against it. In many ways, this event marks a reward for Trump after a week of efforts by his team to get the bill across the finish line. Trump invited members of Congress to the event, which was also attended by military families who are regular guests at the Independence Day picnic. But as you can imagine, all the attention was not on Independence Day, but rather on the celebration of the fact that Donald Trump's bill was finally signed. This is where things get really interesting, which Elon Musk is opposed to. The bill extends the tax breaks that were first approved by Donald Trump in 2017 during his first term and creates new benefits with a total value of $4.5 trillion. The law also increases funding for immigration control and defense to pay for all these new expenses and reduce tax revenues. This measure cuts by $1 trillion and also reduces food assistance for those in need. They say, let's save money on the poor so that the rich can pay a little less in taxes. But according to the Congressional Budget Office analysis, this initiative will still add $3.3 trillion to the federal deficit. And that doesn't even include the cost of servicing the debt. So in the end, they calculated that this national debt figure increases by almost $5 trillion. Many Republicans were concerned that the bill's proposed cuts to social safety net programs, such as food stamps, could become the target of political attacks. And nearly 12 million Americans could lose their health insurance as a result of changes to government programs introduced by this bill. Other analyses point to an even higher number, taking into account new burdensome paperwork for recipients to prove their eligibility for assistance. So 12 million Americans who will lose this government assistance is actually a rather optimistic figure. It could be much higher. The Democrats have already started pointing out the huge tax breaks provided by the bill for wealthy Americans. But some of Trump's allies have admitted that they need to catch up in spreading information about what they see as the advantages of the bill, including the elimination of taxes on tips and increased funding for Trump's immigration enforcement program. That's right. And as Donald Trump said, we just need to look ahead, guys. Look ahead and just say things as they are. Because this is the most popular bill ever signed in the history of our country. It doesn't matter if you're in the military or anyone else. This is the most popular bill ever signed. But, well, despite all these polls showing that even most voters from the Republican Party don't approve of this bill, Trump claims that Americans don't understand and that this needs to be explained to them. This bill is excellent, not just in name. This will really be beneficial. But I'll say it again, what the Democrats are against is the idea that the rich can pay less in taxes while we just take away social protection and benefits from the poor, like food stamps, and cut the program. That's why it's a great, truly significant bill. And for Trump, the bill he signed on Friday is less about helping Republicans win than about his own legacy. This implies that he doesn't truly care about voters' reactions to him in principle. He presented the package as the codification of the promises he made to voters during the election campaign. And he used it to emphasize what he called the most successful start to any presidency in history. And this Friday's flyover of B-2 bombers over the White House, which last month dropped bombs on Iranian nuclear facilities, also highlights the importance of the days marked by the passage of Donald Trump's bill. In addition to striking Iran, Trump convinced NATO allies to spend more on defense. He achieved a major victory in the Supreme Court, which expanded his executive powers. And he created new momentum for a ceasefire in the Gaza Strip, which could be achieved within a few days. As for Russia's war against Ukraine, Trump seems to have finally started to realize that Putin is leading him on. But now Trump honestly says that he's not sure if he can stop this war. We will continue to help Ukraine, but how this war will end, no one really knows. And against this backdrop, Elon Musk announces that he is creating a third political party in the United States of America. Here, however, it's not clear to what extent Elon Musk has taken steps to legally form the party, which should actually be registered with the Federal Election Commission. Because the latest documents from the Federal Election Commission have shown no signs that a new party has appeared. The richest person in the world has indicated that he wants to create a party that will be fiscally conservative and limit spending, but he has not provided any details about what the platform of this party would be. Elon Musk and Trump generally share similar views on contemporary social issues. But Musk claims that the Republican political agenda increases the country's debt, calling it debt slavery of the United States of America. And here it's important to understand that the two-party system in the United States has long been criticized by both Democrats and Republicans. But the attempt to form some kind of third political party back in the last century was not successful. Billionaire Ross Perot ran for president as an independent candidate in 1992, and at that time he received almost a fifth of the voters' votes. 20% is a lot, but in the end he didn't win a single state in the election, which was won by Bill Clinton. So, it was like an attempt by someone like Elon Musk in 1992, another billionaire challenging the United States political system, the Democrats and Republicans, and running separately. However, it ultimately failed. Experts in campaign financing and political scientists say that creating a new party is difficult both financially and legally. And voters and candidates will not immediately decide to join it. That is, several election cycles must pass before this party can even establish itself, gain a base of voters, candidates, party members, and so on. And this week, Elon Musk announced that his party will become an active political force in the midterm elections as early as next year. And that initially it will focus on supporting only a few candidates in the House of Representatives and the Senate. So, Musk seems to understand what's going on and says, we won't create a huge party right away. For now, we'll focus on specific candidates for the Senate and the House. Trump, in turn, made his own threats against Elon Musk. And earlier this week, Trump said that the government might reconsider its large contracts with Elon Musk's companies. And he described the Government Efficiency Department, which was previously headed by Musk, as a monster that could come back and eat Elon Musk. As you know, he also threatened to deport Elon Musk from the United States of America. The war between them is really starting. There is an important point here. If Elon Musk registers his political party and registers himself in it, meaning he becomes a candidate, then of course this will protect him a little from Donald Trump's attacks. Well, at the very least, Trump won't be able to deport him in any way because he's already a candidate, so it will be more difficult to fight against him. What can Trump do? Of course, he can cut off all government contracts and try to destroy the entire business empire. Elon Musk could clearly lose a lot because of all this. On the other hand, there are already rumors that this is a very clever game by Trump and Elon Musk. You just don't understand what. Thus, by creating another party, they will pull votes away from both the Republicans and the Democrats. And then Elon Musk will simply urge his supporters to keep voting specifically for the Republicans. Well, this kind of shadowy vote-splitting scheme is quite a dark tactic that's practiced in many countries. When new parties are created before elections with loud promises, people believe them. And then, literally a few days before the election, they say, we're dropping out, but if you're our supporters, trust us, you need to vote for these guys instead. And they just redirect, so to speak, the electoral traffic there, if I can put it that way. As they say, the game has started, and the score is currently tied at 1. Trump got his bill, Elon Musk is getting ready, and is already talking about creating a political party. It will be interesting to watch this confrontation further, because in fact we might really see a situation where Elon Musk could take some votes away from the Republican Party. And in the midterm elections in 26, the Republicans could lose their majority in Congress. It will be very telling if Elon Musk really gets involved in this. But let's keep watching the situation, because for now I'll leave it at that. Share your opinions and conclusions in the comments under this episode. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and don't forget to like.